Good evening, and welcome to another unplanned episode of Diatribes from the Voice of Doom. Now here's your unbridled and uninhibited host, Voice of Doom. Hello. Alright, I'm back, I hope. Benjamin is home, and he helped me free up some space on my computer, so maybe I can do a diatribe and actually upload it, even though I doubt if YouTube wants to even help me with this, because most of what I have to say won't be allowed. But I haven't had a diatribe in like 3 or 4 weeks, so people are probably aching for my wisdom. And so I'll try to do one. I'll tell you now that I have to be up in about 6 hours because Benjamin and I are going to have a road trip and take a trip to Seattle from Carson City and enjoy ourselves. Because if you can't enjoy yourself, then why be here? So, will you knock it off, cats? So, I'm just fitting in this diatribe because I haven't said anything in a while. There's a lot going on. Hell of a lot. But I still feel that my presence here on the World Wide Web is not necessary anymore. I've been prognosticating doom and the downfall of Western civilization for 5 years now. Nobody's watched, but I don't have to really say much anymore because everybody else knows it. You can see it. Everything's falling apart. Oh yeah, the economy's great with Trump, with Orangey. The Dow Jones is at the highest. Tariffs are working. Yeah, Orangey's doing a good job. He's doing a good job, hammering planks into the Titanic as it's sinking. He's doing a great job doing that. I gotta hand it to him. I mean, I sometimes think, well, what's the worst thing that Orangey's done? What do I not like about him? And I think, and I just don't come up with much. The only thing I come up with is he's a narcissist, and he's not very statesmanlike, and he doesn't inspire people because he's very sarcastic and narcissistic. So it's like if you could be more like Benjamin Franklin or more like Thomas Jefferson and be doing what you're doing now, you'd be perfect. But you take what you get. Now, okay, I don't want to get down on Orangey, but it's like I can't see anything that he's doing wrong. The only thing I see doing wrong is the D's and the wokesters and the idiots and the lipsters who are stymieing getting people out of this country who don't need to be here. It's bad enough that the rest of the American populace don't need to be here because their usefulness to society will be, we won't need them anymore. So let's try to get rid of at least the face tattooed gangsters who will slit your throat. Get rid of them. And everything else, I mean, okay, the left goes after ICE because they're draconian, okay. If you impede justice, then you need to be arrested. And you can't use little anecdotes about some American citizen was arrested by ICE. Yeah, because they were backing their car into the freaking ICE officials or whoever they were. Or you ram your car into them. And then they come out and either arrest you or shoot you. And then you cry foul and you go, come on. We all know everything's going down the tubes. I don't care where the Dow Jones is. I don't care how well the tariffs are doing. I don't care how much orangey is going all over the world trying to create peace. We're doomed. And everybody sees it. So my diatribes are becoming defunct. They're becoming... I started it, or many people started it before me, but I laid bare how we're doomed, and we are doomed. So I was going to, a little entertaining thing. I only got a couple notes down on it, so I can't really extrapolate real clearly on it, but LGBTQ plus. Okay. They are the sacred cow. They are so great. All of them are brilliant. And they are all worthy of affirmation. And it just occurred to me that there's a lot of people in the past history that might have been in league or part of the LGBTQ plus community, and they did not advertise that particular trait in their psyche, and they did horrible things. And I could come up with more. I didn't do any research on this, but it just occurred to me that J. Edgar Hoover was the head of the FBI for like 50 years, and he held a lot of power held a lot of sway over politicians and people who were in high power because he had secret files on them. And he also let the organized crime people slide up to a point and deny their existence because he just didn't want to believe they existed. But the fact of the matter was that J. Edgar Hoover was gay, and he had a boyfriend, and they lived with each other for many, many decades. And he might have been a cross-dresser, and that's a horrible visage to think about. But he might and probably was a cross-dresser, and he was gay. And it's all common knowledge now. And he held sway over many politicians, presidents, and high mucky mucks in what used to be and still kind of is the United States. And that was his position. And nobody wanted to fool with him because he had information on them and they had information on him. And the whole thing's a big mess. So this government hasn't been good for many decades, going back to the 20s, 30s, 40s. But let's look at another LGBTQ guy who was a stalwart member of society. His name was Ernst Röhm. He was the head of the SA in the 30s of the rising sentiments of Nazi Germany. He made it happen. He was a revolutionary in every sense of the word. He was a Trotsky. He wanted revolution constantly. And he wanted if you look at the guy, you know he wanted a totalitarian regime. He didn't want communism where everybody shares. But he was gay as hell. as were most of the upper echelon of the SA in 1930s Germany, who were helping Schicklgruber become the ultimate leader, and everybody was going to be living high on the hog because they were going to get their guy in. And the guy looked at him and went, yeah, you're my best friend, but you don't fit into my schema of how I want things to go. So LGBTQ, boom, boom. I mean, come on, it was savage. And they were all gay. So, these LGBTQs deciding that they were sacrosanct, and there's been no evil among them because they love who they love, doesn't hold true. And I could come up with way more examples, but I didn't take the time to do it. I just wanted to get in a diatribe because I don't know if I have enough storage memory in my computer to do it. But what else can I talk about? I can talk about a lot of things. I like what Orangey's doing, but this Middle East thing is not holding and is not going to hold. There's going to be a conflagration there. Because Hamas does not just say, I mean, come on. We have an agreement on a ceasefire with Hamas because they're going to release the hostages. Well, great. They release the hostages. That's all good. But they're killing their own in Gaza. They're shooting each other. And Hamas is not laying down their arms. So Israel's going to have to go in and clean it up. And that's going to be a mess. So forget about this Middle East peace. I don't care right, left, middle, or whatever. Orangey's doing his best, but you can only do so much if you don't have these fat savages lay down their arms and say, we're going to go into the Rose Garden and have a peace treaty once and for all. Come on. West Bank, the Palestinian Authority, Gaza, Hamas. Give me a break. It's not done. There's no peace in the Middle East. And Ukraine, that's getting worse. Because Putin says he wants Zelensky out because he's a puppet of the West. And Orangey is not going to do that. Even though he probably wants to. I'm sure he wants to. But you can't just do that. But what are you going to do? Get Zelensky out and then who comes in? So there's going to be a conflagration. And the United States is falling into the abyss. Now, the government shutdown, I'll talk about that. I have a few more minutes. All right. For one thing, we don't use real money anyway, so why do they have these freaking debt limits? It's not going to be held, well, we're going to raise the debt limit 2 more trillions. And then they reach the 2 more trillions and you got to raise it again. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. We're printing money. Money is nothing. Money is digital. Just type it in and send it. Give me a break. Debt limits. Come on. I'm not an economist. I know it's so stupid. Oh, we can't spend any more money because we've reached our debt limit. My God. So we reached the debt limit. The government shut down. And the D's have a choice. They can either buckle in the next 4 days, or else November 1st hits and the SNAP food stamps stop, and then you have rioting. you have looting, you have absolute anarchy. So 4 more days, take your choice. So obvious. There's no debt limit. Just say our debt limit is $500 quadrillion. And when we reach that, then we'll worry about it. So stupid. Why do I have to say it? Goodbye.